Great, so you've been growing your plant for about a month now, and you remember every single month, the same time of the month, we like to feed our plants. Just like you and I, our baby plants gotta eat too. So we're gonna show you in this video how to feed them. What I wanna show you is what to look for when nutrient deficiencies, because maybe you didn't put enough of food in, or maybe you skipped the feeding. We do it sometimes too, but we try to stay as consistent as possible. But take a look at this. Got this patchouli plant here. If you look down below, you start to see all these leaves. They don't look vibrant, they're yellow. We even have this guy starting to fall off. And as we go up more, they're yellow and they start to get more green. Lower yellow leaves are showing you it's a nutrient deficiency. That's because in order for the plant to grow, it needs certain nutrients. Some nutrients, specifically nitrogen, is able to be pulled from the lower leaves so the top leaves can go ahead and get it. If you look here, you notice these top leaves are nice and dark. That's for two reasons. The nutrients you give them are always going to go up there first. And we just fed this plant about 10 days ago, so that's why this is starting to fill in. All these yellow leaves, we're going to end up losing them. They're not going to come back. So you want to try to prevent that from happening by feeding your plants monthly. We're going to go ahead and show that to you on one of the plants that we have right now, which is the arrowroot. And this here is starting to show me some signs of nutrient deficiencies. If you look in this beautiful arrowroot, you're going to start to see some of the lower leaves. See the tips are starting to get a little burnt. And as I spin it, we start to see some lower yellow leaves. Notice it's not the top ones, it's the lower ones. This is the sign the plant's saying, hey mama, papa, friend, caretaker, time to feed me. So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. In the link below, you're gonna see a chart or a link to a chart that shows you how much food to give them all. On this 3 gallon, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 tablespoons of plant food. We've been doing this for years. Honestly, a lot of years. We still measure every single thing we're doing. We wanna make sure you still measure as well. So I'm taking my little tablespoon scooper. On this plant, I'm gonna get to some 624 because I wanna see the leaves grow green and get bigger. And I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this in here. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put in our second. Oops, this is a little too high. Let me wipe this off. That's important, I wanna give the right amount. That way we can correct any problems and make sure our plants have what it needs. Doing this, I see have a little weed. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull this weed out as well. What I'm gonna do to pull a weed out in your pot is I'm gonna place my hands right by the plant. I'm gonna put it on the soil so I don't disturb the roots here. I'm putting force down, just like this. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pull up on this plant. So you saw I pulled this plant out with disturbing any of this because I put pressure on this plant. So now we don't need to feed the weeds. Let's get it out of here. Let's go ahead, we add 2 tablespoons. That means we got 2 more to go. Let's stuck it in here. I'm showing you this plant because there's a lot of growth in here. It makes it harder to fertilize. You can see the technique that we would do. Here's another weed. We yank this out, it's a small one. I can probably put my finger there. All right, so now that we have this powder all over it, if you have the ability, it's best to go ahead and scratch this into the soil so you can't see much anymore. I'm just gonna turn this pot as I'm doing this so you can see what's going on. Scratching it in because I don't want to see much. Every bit I see means we can lose some nutrients into the atmosphere. So we got some here. Instead of letting it off gas in the atmosphere, we're gonna go ahead and scrape it into the dirt. I'll be honest, we don't do this to all our plants because we have so many plants to do. So if you feel like this is overwhelming, you could skip it. It's better ecologically and it's gonna use more of your plant food, so it's gonna be better economically. You look in there, it looks like soil now. Maybe you can see a little fertilizer here and there, but mostly soil. After that, there's nothing we gotta do. You don't need to water your plant unless your plant needs water. If you need to learn how to water your plant, make sure to watch the video on this series of how to water your plants inside a container. Besides that, water normally, your plant's good to go. Set your alarm for 4 weeks later next month to go ahead and fertilize your plants. That's about it. Now you know the basics to start and take care of your plants for everything you know. The next series we're gonna build out in the future is gonna be all about pest control. Check back in with us.